Hello there, and welcome to the Pint-Sized Healing Podcast. My name is Max Thompson. Let's get started. So, raise your hand if you do this. When we self-care, when we do something that is aimed at making us feel better, at making us feel better cared for, feel healthier, feel happier, then often afterwards we have this huge guilt trip because there's part of us that still, despite maybe rationally we know that self-care is important, there's still part of us somewhere deep down that is convinced that self-care is egocentric, right? It's selfish to look after ourselves, because isn't it way more commendable to be looking after other people? Well, yes and no, but looking after other people definitely commendable, but looking after other people in a way that compromises your own health and well-being, well, that's just silly. You know how they say on the airplane, make sure that your oxygen mask is on first. Well, it works the same in life. If we're not looking after ourselves and making sure that we have good health and good energy and health, we're happy and healthy, then how are we going to help other people be happy and healthy? You can't pour from an empty cup, is what they say. I think it's really important that when you think about self-care, and you think about it in the way that, that's not a luxury. Self-care is essential, and it is at the heart of what we're trying to do when we're healing as well. Healing is hard work, and it's definitely not always easy because we have to go into all the, you know, complicated, mucky stuff. And so making sure that we keep ourselves balanced and looked after is just, it is what makes the healing possible. Because without, having that level of care for ourselves, we're not, we won't have the energy to actually deal with things that we have to deal with. And like I said in one of the earlier episodes this month as well, like sometimes self-care is staying under the blankets the whole day because, we're exhausted and we need the rest. Sometimes it's, uh, giving ourselves a little kick in the behind and getting ourselves up and dressed and doing something, right? Sometimes it's canceling appointments, and sometimes it's, going out and meeting some people. It really depends on who we are as people. It also depends on where we are in our healing journey, what's going on in our lives, and all those kind of things. But one thing that is really important when we are thinking about self-care and we're engaging in self-care, and especially when we're doing the things that feel indulgent, that we do so with self-compassion. We need to be kind about we need to be kind to ourselves about it, because, you know, if we, let's say that you've just spent the whole day wrapped in a blanket, watching Netflix because you were tired, and that was the only thing that you could do that would help you feel better. Well, then that was a good thing to do, and that was the right thing to do. If you then spend a whole day beating yourself up for sitting on the sofa with your Netflix on all day, then you're negating the positive effect that that day of rest had for you, right? So, um, so sure, sometimes self-care can feel a little indulgent, especially because you have that kind of, and especially as a survivor of abuse, we think that anything that is aimed at making us ourselves feel better is selfish and wrong, because that's what our abuser keeps saying, is that we don't deserve self-care, we don't deserve compassion or kindness, we don't deserve our needs met. Oof, that was difficult to get out. But anyway, they've convinced us that we are not worth any of these things. And so when we do engage in them, then it feels as if, we're immediately we're thinking that we're overindulging, and we're not. We're, often we're barely making the minimum requirement of self-care because of how we were trained within the abusive situation. So when you are thinking about, things that you can do to self-care and to look after yourself and to meet those needs that you have for either social contact or for some for rest and relaxation, or for engaging yourself intellectually, or you know uh, uh, engaging with your spiritual needs, all those things. I think we need to look at ourselves and really feel kind about the things that we're trying, even when sometimes we try things that don't seem to work for us. Um, you know, Sometimes we need to try new things, and maybe we're trying to get onto a specific diet, because we feel like we need to look after our health in a different way, and it doesn't work, or we we can't seem to stick to it, or but they're all attempts at finding the right ways for you to look after yourself. Because, like I said, a lot of these strategies depend on the person, depend on your personality, on your particular needs in the moment. Sometimes these things change as well over time. Maybe today you really feel like you need less social engagement, but 3 months from now you're like, oh, I can't believe I cancelled all the things that I wanted to do with my friends, because now I feel like the walls are are coming in, and I just want to get out and do things with people. So just follow your gut with that. Try new things. Try what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Um, it's all Everything you do, everything you try, it's a good attempt, right? There is no failure when it comes to healing and self-care. Every little thing that you try is either contributes to self-care, or it's you finding out that that particular route isn't for you. So treat yourself with kindness and compassion, even when it comes to self care, because self care, let me just repeat this one more time so that hopefully it will stick in your mind. Self care is not selfish, right? I'll see you next week for the next episode. Until then, have a good time. Bye.